Good evening and welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Martin. I'm your host, and there's a lot to talk about. We're going to do the review to the Arsenal game. Obviously, there's been a lot of other stuff going on as well. City on the verge, 2 signings, third player of interest, another player's left. It's all popping off at the moment. And we've got Trev and Danny to join us. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Good evening.
Evening, Martin. Right. Well, welcome back.
Yeah, let's say some hello. Steve, hello. Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute, mate. Hope you're well. Good evening, Tone. Hope you are well. Yeah, we're not. Don't do that, Tone. You'll get in trouble. Cobb, evening all. A monstrous performance from GUEHI. We'll get into it. A victory snatched in the dying minutes, a classic part of our history. GVARDIOL played well too. It was his goal that saved us. Yeah, agree and don't agree. How many midfielders are we looking at? We'll go through that. Harley, Gakpo interest is legit. Yes, it is. Harley, BOUADDI, Allen in. Maybe ENZO and Gakpo. Maybe one midfielder. Yeah, you're going to get 4 or 5 players in the next 5 days, 6 days, however long it is. Big up Adam Quinn. Hope you are well. Yeah, we'll talk about Turkey as well. The women's team just need players. Yeah, they do, but I think they're starting a bit later. We have got a women's show coming up on the channel starting very soon. Yeah, spot on. He did show courage, even though some people had a bit of a meltdown over yesterday. Jack Lee, hello, Blues. How are we all doing? Great to be back. Come on, Fulham. Back by any chance have you? Yeah, I've had a look at that, Steve. I'm going to check. I don't know why, but it's 9:30 for me, mate. So I don't know why. Yes, Enzo Fernandez is getting stick off the Chelsea fans. Looking like Grealish is going to stay. Won't be too sure on that. Hello, DC. How the devil are you? Michael Feeney, hope you are well. Right, we'll save some of those. Gentlemen, City snatched the winner, which looked like the jaws of defeat for quite a long time within the whole system. We started off with fireworks, and we ended with fireworks. You two were both there. I wasn't, for a change. Tell us all about it.
Well, personally, I don't think I've received enough credit for the results. You know, I turn up for the first time in 22 years. New manager, you know, everything's new, including me, and we win. That's all I got to say. No one said thank you. Have you? Have you said thank you? No, nobody. Fuck all.
Can we blame
basically, because Martin wasn't there and you were there, we won.
That's how it works, Danny. You got it. You got it. He's not allowed in anymore. He's giving me a season ticket and he's doing one at Loch Ness.
I got
every
back
weekend.
An hour ago. I got
every
back
home
an hour
game.
Ago.
Bloody hell.
Hey, I got back an hour ago. Daps, do you want to jump on, by the way? I got back, yeah, literally. I've done an hour drive today, all the way from Loch Ness.
Our kid nearly came on tonight.
Do you know what? I am
excited.
Never doing that drive ever again. I am never, ever doing that drive. That drive has killed me.
See, that's right. Jack Lee, MCFC, recognising my contribution to the victory right there. Good lad.
But look at this, a commitment. I got in an hour ago and bang, there you go. Commitment. Yeah, so I do apologise, Daps. I wasn't back in time to do the 8 o'clock. I was still 8 o'clock. Where was I? I was on the M6, which was fun. Yes, hello, vibes. We'll get into all that. Right. We're going to do what we normally do on these post-match shows. We'll go through the lineup. Donnarumma, Rico Lewis, Kushinov, Diaz, GVARDIOL, Anderson, Matt GUEHI, who started in midfield, Phil Foden, Nico Riley, Semenyo, and Haaland. All happy with that lineup?
Well, considering going in, we didn't really have any players. I don't know what a whole lot of people are expecting, to be completely honest with you. It kind of really picked itself, really, didn't it? Let's be honest. I mean, the Mark Gay thing was wild. I'm not going to lie. I'd have never called that. I mean, when I don't know where you were, Trevor, in there, but I mean, going in, I thought everyone was very positive about it. You know, everyone was up for it. Stadium was rocking. The North Stand, I just want to say, well done. That stand gets some stick. They were on fire. At one point, we were chanting, South Stand, give us a song.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
I just want to say, Pep Guardiola stand, well done, because you brought it. He brought it yesterday. Listen, I thought in the first half an hour we played well. I did. I thought we outplayed Bournemouth. I thought we were better than them. And then I think it was just the classic of we didn't take our chances. There's plenty of opportunities. I thought we should have been at least 2 up, and we just didn't take the chances. They got their chance, and then I thought our heads went down. You don't sound like you agree with that, Trev.
I don't know. You see, it's hard for me because it's been my first home game. So, you know, I'm excited and, you know, and I'm a happy clapper by nature. I think that the kicks us up and down the pitch for the first half. And the ones who got it worse was Foden and Rico Lewis, of course, because he gets kicked every game because he's slight. Now, I thought the referee was atrocious. And I'm not a person who moans about referees very much, but in that first half, I think he was absolutely dreadful. We were getting nothing, and that you know, that's the crowd either side of me were, you know, everyone was of the same mind. I was impressed with the Pep stand, though. I must admit that was brilliant. And our kid, it's funny, we got these tickets, and they were like 1 row away from where our kid's been sitting for the last 20 odd years. So, you know, so I met all these kind of seat, you know, what do you call it? Seat buddies, people who you see every week because you got a season ticket. They're all in the same place. So I met some of them, and they were very positive, you know, before the game. I also met Tone and Luke before the game, which was absolutely brilliant to meet them in person. So I'm slightly different on the first half, but you've got to account for my exuberance at being there. Do you know what I mean? So you might want to take my take for a pinch of salt, but I thought we did very well in the first half. I thought their goal was pretty much against the run of play.
Yeah.
And it was a good goal. Well taken. We missed two sitters.
We did the second.
Right.
To be completely honest.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I thought the second half we just dominated. I don't think they got a sniff in the second half. Did they have a shot?
Well, no, this one. I mean, so after that, I think after that first half an hour, after they conceded, I thought the heads went down. And it was like a 45-minute period then when we just slipped into the old ways of what was last season, where they just seemed like they were defeated and just I'll give you an example. So where I sit in Colin Bell, so Semenyo's running down the wing and he's going after a ball he could easily get. He just gives up and lets it go out.
There was 2 of those, and I'm sat in that corner. So I saw exactly what you meant. I know exactly what you meant. And I don't know whether that's fitness or what, or he couldn't be asked. But I mean I'm sat virtually right where he wasn't getting to that ball. You know, I'm sat like 5 rows above that. And I said to our kid, he's not arsed or he's knackered. There's something, you know, injury, whatever, but he didn't go after those 2. And they were great balls, both from Phil Foden.
Yeah. But it's like in that 45-minute period, and this is where my only concern comes in, is that's to me where you need your leaders and your experience. And we didn't have any of that on the pitch by the looks of it, because no one was geeing them up. No one was getting them going.
Right.
Now, Diaz is normally good at that, and I didn't see any of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just looked lost for that 45 minutes. We made the subs, made the changes. Cherky come on and lit it on fire, and we got the creativity back. And then we went on one. And then obviously...
But I'd also say Nunes coming on, and this will not make me popular in the chat because there's an agenda against him at the moment, but Kovacic did the metronome. There was no one doing the metronome. And that's one of the things, the biggest things that we miss about Rodri, or we're going to miss unless we replace that ability, is the one who triggers the press, is the one who dictates the speed of passing out from defence. And I was very happy with the accuracy of passing. Kusanov, I'm just not convinced about a back three, and Kusanov can't play in a back three. I don't think he can, and I love the guy. And you know what? He won every single duel. For the second game running, he won every single duel against Arsenal, and he won every single duel, aerial and on the ground, on Sunday, which is impressive. And his distribution was superb. I just don't think he can be a right back in a back three. And we do change formation going forward.
Yeah.
But in that back three, I'm going to take some
wasn't a
convincing
right
that that's
back,
the way forward.
He wasn't a right back, though. He was a centre back.
Yeah, so who was the right back?
Lewis.
So
Rico.
we've got GVARDIOL, Diaz, and Kusanov as a back three. Which one of those is the right back?
It was Rico Lewis. Out of possession, Rico Lewis. In possession was just a back three centre backs.
And who was? Okay, so 3 centre backs. So no one was playing right back in a back three. Fine. Okay, if that's what you think.
Yeah, Rico Lewis played. It was a back four. Out possession.
Out of possession, yeah. So what we were doing is we had a back four, and then when we got the ball, Rico slotted it into that midfield, the right side 10 slot, and Josko went back inside and was the left side centre back, Diaz central centre back, and Kusanov right sided centre back.
All right, that's not what I saw.
I was taught if you can't say anything nice, don't say nothing at all. So I'm not going to speak about Rico Lewis. I don't think he's
I think he was fine out of possession.
I
think he was bad out of possession.
Don't get me started on this, because I'm telling you something. I'm going to stick up for the lad, because I've heard some absolute bollocks today. An absolute bollocks. And you know what? We come on here and the young fans get slated. But I'll tell you what, a lot of older City fans, the stuff they're coming out about Rico Lewis, it's not on at the end of the day. He didn't do bad in that game. You can see agendas coming out now.
Yeah.
The goal wasn't him, but it was also on Kusanov making a mistake. It was also on the press being late. It was also on GUEHI not picking up a run in the midfield. It was also on Haaland pressing it wrong. It was also on Semenya making a wrong run and not covering the fullback. So you can't just blame it on Rico Lewis. A goal is rarely down to one person.
I'm not saying he deserves the abuse. 100%. I'm with you on that.
What he did and what he was good at. This was my point from after the game and on reflection. The penalties he's getting are unfair, and if his role is to be a nuisance, to pick up balls lost high up and press, as well as being an outlet for wing play that doesn't go anywhere, he did that really well. My question is, if that's an actual role or a role we need. Because when he was playing up with Foden, if Phil didn't get something out of what he was trying to achieve, Lewis was there either getting the ball back, and he did it really well, or he was there as an outlet for a wing run that didn't go anywhere. He was there to receive the ball back and to continue the attack. If that's a role that we need, or if that is in fact an actual role in the team, he did that very, very well. So he doesn't deserve the shit he's getting.
The point I'm making, what I heard
today,
and yesterday as well, even before the game, the group chats that I'm in, the minute his name was in that lineup, everyone was on him. We're going to be shit today because he's not even kicked a ball yet. And that's what I can say about the agendas coming out. It's like, give him a chance. You don't know what it's going to be like. You don't know what's going to happen in this game. He could have done a Mark Gay in that game, missed an open, a header, and then scored, and he still got shit for the first one.
I'm not, but we have to be, like I said, we can do constructive criticism.
Absolutely. No one's
he was all over the shop defensively.
He's not a defender though, is he? And it was a patch-up job. It was a patch-up job.
But that's what I mean. But why play him as a right back?
Well, he clearly didn't want to play Núñez for the full game, did he? That's why I'm looking.
No, Danny, I understand that, but I can't just say, "Oh, he didn't do that wrong."
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying that the shit he's getting.
No, I agree. I'm not. But it doesn't mean I think, because I don't think he's good enough for Manchester City, and that's my honest opinion with it. And that's not me having a go at the lad. I don't. I feel I don't think he'll play a lot of football this year.
See, Luke's just said that the play between, and I think this is a good point, the play between Lewis and Foden is a shape of things to come. I think, yeah, if that's a role, what would be that? What the tacticos amongst you? What would that role be? Someone who plays inside of whoever's on the right wing. It was Phil Foden.
When we've signed ENZO and BOUADDI and all these, you think?
No, I'm talking about the game that we just watched. That's real, not what we might do.
No, Trevor, I understand that, but Luke said a sign of things to come. I'm trying to say it won't because I don't think Rico will play
But I'm taking that not as a literal statement. I'm taking it maybe as something interesting to think about, rather than going, well, he's not going to do it, so it's Enzo Fernandez and there's no point. What if that could be a thing? I want to know what that role would be, and because it ain't Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez doesn't play where Rico Lewis was playing yesterday, right? That's not what he does. He's a midfielder. He's a holding gate ball box.
He's a number 8. Enzo Fernandez is a number 8.
But he doesn't play that far forward, does he? That's not his role.
Yeah, he got 10 goals for Chelsea last year.
Right. Okay. So he's a number 8. Where do they play? Because
you're going to be playing that box, aren't you? He's going to be the box crosser, I'm presuming.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's not what Lewis was doing. He was there as like helping out Phil Foden. He was the option for Phil Foden if the wing run wasn't going anywhere or the cross didn't go in, and he really battled to get the ball back when Foden lost the ball, or whoever was there lost the ball, and he did that very, very well. He's not a right back. We know that. He got PTSD when he had to do it for a year. And he didn't recover from the PTSD last season. We already know this. He's not a right back. But trying to, he's one of our own. He loves the club. I haven't got as much time for him as I have for Phil, because he's never given me those 6 seasons of incredible football and individual performances. So, but do we want to give him a kick in the bollocks this early? I'm not sure, mate.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not abusing him. It's okay, so I don't think he's good enough, Trav. That's not abuse. That's just an opinion.
Nah, you're abusing him, Martin.
A rotational player for us, Martin.
No, because I don't think he was. He played 250 minutes last season, Danny.
So,
with the
Danny,
players we're about to bring in, where does he go in ahead of?
On the premise that I made, what position would that be? Where do you think he could play that would be his best position?
I like him in midfield.
Right.
But he's not going to be a main midfielder for us, don't get me wrong, but I think it's obviously rotation on the bench and whatnot. I think that is a good option for him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He'd be a rotational defender. Because you're going to get BOUADDI. BOUADDI's done. They're after Enzo Fernandez. They're after another midfielder. And they've got Elliot Anderson, Foden and Cherky to get in as well. For me, if he's okay with 6th choice, then fine. I'm not saying again, I'm not abusing the lad. Yeah. If I was the lad, I'd go out and play somewhere. I don't think he's going to play a lot for me, because he said, he was on record of saying this, I didn't play enough last season. Where is he going to play more this season? That's my question.
We were talking about this though a couple of weeks ago when we said about the club profiling him, and said there must have been some kind of conversation, because the way he was talking before the end of the season was he was going to leave. It looked like all signs he was leaving, and all of a sudden the club's profiling him on the website, and he's like, "I want to stay. I want to get more minutes." It's like as Enzo had some kind of chat with him and said something. It's just weird. I find it weird, the whole thing with like him and Grealish. Like, they're the ones from the treble season, and suddenly there's like another chance, another lifeline.
I think Grealish
we're going to leave. I know that.
Yeah, I think Grealish came on.
As of now, at the minute, they get another chance, another lifeline. And then all the new players that were under the Pep rebuild are out the door.
Do you think Grealish is getting a lifeline, or do you think, like you just said, they're getting played because we haven't brought the bodies in yet?
Well, I definitely think that. I mean, he brought nothing to us. Yesterday.
I mean, yesterday, I'm going to be honest, Grealish couldn't even run. I'm
No.
like, well, I don't know what others.
Jesus
I was
Christ.
quite shocked, actually.
I can't remember
did
when.
Grealish looked like he was overweight. He looked like he was overweight when
He looks checked
that,
out.
that might be
Yeah.
that might be Telly adding pounds to him, because I said to our kid he looks thin. His face looks thin. And
No,
I
don't know. That's not
I'm sat within
Trev, I'm not
yards of him. He
saying.
looks
Wait,
skinny.
Trev, I'm not saying that
Okay.
he is overrated. It look like he looks heavy running. Like he doesn't have any
Right.
burst
Oh,
of
okay.
speed.
Okay. Got you.
Not that he is literally overweight.
But what he did was, and I'm not making the case for him, he's obviously going to go. What he did was he retained the ball and he didn't give the ball away once, which is one of the things that he's always done. And so in a game like yesterday where the team's a bit makeshift, that has a value. And so I wouldn't say he didn't contribute anything, because he retained the ball. He did some corner shithousery when we were running down the clock, which is always a beautiful thing, because there are a few people better at corner shithousery than Jack Grealish. The other thing was, it was lovely to see the reception he got. Like I said, I'm sat in that corner, and that's where people warm up. And when he came on to warm up, he got this massive cheer and claps, and the beam, he just had this big beaming smile, and he waved. And I thought, that's proper, that is. He's loved, and he needed to feel loved, you know, and he has made great things for our club. He won't do that anymore. But it was just, I thought, yeah, that's what City fans do. When someone isn't playing well, or when they're on the way out, we don't slag them off. When they've done jobs for us, when when they've actually done enough to win us things and had a couple of brilliant seasons. That's how City fans are to me. And it seemed like we'd lost that. I know I'm talking about my experience of the first game in 22 years, but I think, it's worth sharing. The people around me weren't what I see online. They genuinely have affection for the player and gave him the warmest round of applause, and everybody cheered. Every time he came near us, there was a little cheer, and he was smiling and he was happy about that. I thought that was beautiful, and I thought that was what City fans were.
This is what obviously we tried to get across, like me and mine do. Obviously, it's completely different when you're in the stadium, isn't it?
Tone said the same thing on our chat today. You read what Tone wrote, and he's absolutely spot on. It's so different when you're there. And that doesn't mean I'm not saying Matchday fans are better or anything like that.
No.
But it is different. And I've been a TV fan for 22 years, and an online fan for 22 years. And now it was like going home to me. It felt really familiar. And the conversations that I was having were really familiar. A few people came up and said, they didn't know me from the show, which is weird. They knew Tone from the show. He got loads of people. But they knew me from my X account, which only has, it's got 1,000 followers today. I've got 50 followers overnight. So, a couple of people came up, and those conversations were great as well. And the conversations I was having on the tram were great. I even met some Bournemouth fans at the tram station when we were getting on the tram. We had a right old natter with them, a family, and they were lovely. It's just not online. It just doesn't exist online. It's such a shame.
What
and
I'm
hoping that this season, with it being my first season back, and I go to as many games as I can, I want to try and share that thing with our online fans who can't get there, who would be there every week if they could. I want to try and give that viewpoint, and give that balance, because I'm sure that it's very different. And I know that Danny, you do it, Martin does it. I'm going to try and I'm new back, so I think I'll see some other things as well. And I think that'll be quite interesting for everybody. I hope so. Anyway, I'll try and make it funny too.
I mean, what did you all think about GUEHI in the midfield as the CDM?
Superb.
I was asked with I won't want to do that as a long-term solution. I'm happy as a patch-up job, but he did a good job.
You see, Mika Richards losing his shit as though City have never played players out of position before, ever.
Yeah, that's because he's an Arsenal fan. He watches
hysterical wanker. I'm so done with him. I am so done with him. He's the Wincy Willis of football punditry.
He's not on £300,000 a week. Just like Foden's not on £300,000 a week.
I have no slander of Phil Foden.
I mean, listen, I thought GUEHI did very, very well. Shouldn't have missed the first chance.
No.
I mean, you know, he's not a striker, but he made up for it later
That's
on.
what I mean. That's the bit I like.
Sentiment doesn't win you titles.
It's very
Aren't you
easy
edgy?
from last season. So when you miss
That's how
that
some
first
people
goal,
think, though, Trev.
but it's very easy after that first goal miss, then not to be able to come back and get your head down. And he got back in it, and obviously,
Do you know what?
go from a
do you know what
corner. That's a miracle in itself.
Do you know what sentiment does? It makes you a club. It makes you a real club with real people supporting it. It's what sees you through hard times when they come. You won't be here. You'll have fucked off chasing glory on another club.
Sausage,
How
watch
dare
the
you.
game. Mate,
How dare you?
Again.
How dare you say
Let's
sentiment doesn't win
all
you
calm
titles?
down with let's talk amongst ourselves. I'll deal with the comments.
I know,
Everyone's
but you
getting
know
the
what I mean?
comments
Like,
again.
we need to.
Martin,
It's
come on.
agendas. I've had enough. This is what I've had literally all day, and you can just see agendas, and it's
Yeah.
open your eyes.
Yeah,
and watch
mate,
You'll be
I
saying
can tell
standards next, and that'll trigger you, but you're allowed to answer. Come on. It was me who was talking about sentiment.
Right, Trev, calm down.
Yeah.
Have a bit of respect, please. A little bit of respect. I'm hosting.
Yeah.
I've said I'll deal with the comments. I want us to deal with the conversation. I'll deal with the comments.
Right.
If we get stuck in the comments, that's when it all turns into a big argument.
But isn't that
Not everyone in the comments is going to be happy clappy like us.
I know, but isn't that an opportunity for us to
No,
explain
because
the
they're not going to
values
change, Trev.
Oh,
They're not going
right.
to change.
Okay. I
That's-
didn't know that.
Well, let's look at a different angle then. Let's be constructive then. So, what did Foden do wrong yesterday?
I see. For me, the way I looked upon it, watching it, 'cause it's very rare I watch it on the tele, was when I watch Cherky and I watch Foden, and I'm watching them play. It's like 50% of a player at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
I think Foden did a hell of a lot of off the ball work and was tracking back excellently yesterday. I think when he's concentrating on that, I think it takes away from his forward game. And I think Cherky is the exact opposite. He's great going forward, but he don't like coming back doing the dirty stuff. It's like if I could get those two to just gel and become the one player, would be like one of the best midfielders in the world. That's my issue at the minute. They're both doing 50%. And it's trying to unlock each one. Foden's thing's down to confidence because I think he started off really well. That flick that he did to Rico I thought was brilliant. But after that, I don't think there was a lot of creation out of him. I thought there was a lot of off-the-ball work, which I think he's been criticised for a lot lately, Foden. And he was tracking back a hell of a lot, which normally you don't see from Phil all the time. Getting back, sticking his foot in, things like that. So for me, I'm still trying to figure out the MARESCA midfield, what he's trying to do from each person. Because at the minute, I think we're mishmashing. Until we get to next week, we're mishmashing all over the shop.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case next when he plays.
Putting square pegs in round holes. So I don't know who is the actual midfielder.
I don't think we should be talking about Foden yesterday as a midfielder. He was a winger. And I think the big problem and why there wasn't much creativity after the first 20 minutes was more down to what Bournemouth did and what Foden was doing, really. Because they realized after the first chance from Haaland that he couldn't really decide if he wasn't headed or volley. They realized, oh shit, there's a lot of wind, sorry. They realized that, okay, we cannot press the way we were doing before. So let's be a lot more willing to run back. And everybody in the team was willing to run back towards their own goal instead of running forwards to suffocate City because that wasn't working. So when they do this, the creativity from the wide areas becomes lacking, and we could see that from both sides, Foden and Semenyo. And when that happens, you need the creativity to come from the two number 10s infield. But if you have a midfield two in those two areas of O'Reilly and Rico Lewis, the creativity is not going to be there, really, because O'Reilly is a brilliant footballer, and I love him. I think he's got the pleasure to be one of the best players on the planet. but he's not a creative player. He's a box crasher. He's a player who uses his physical capabilities to overpower the opposition. And Rico Lewis is a smart player in the pockets. He's not going to spread a pass through to Haaland. He's going to recycle possession. He's going to find ways of keeping the ball ticking and keep the opposition's defense moving. So when Cherki comes in, he comes in those pockets and allows us to have the central creativity that we needed.
Mm. I mean,
so are we not allowed to put some of the things down to rustiness? Are we not allowed to put some of the things down to not being fully match fit following the World Cup? Are we not allowed any excuses for any of the players?
Yeah, of course you can.
There is mitigation there. You know, this is our first game together, our first serious competitive game.
Mm-hmm.
He picked the team that he could. He did an experiment with GUEHI, which worked brilliantly as far as I was concerned, you know, because he got a goal and he could have had another one, you know. So, and I don't know if everyone's crediting Cherki with changing the game. I mean, the 2 assists, yeah, but I think there were other elements that changed the game. Kovacic, who is hated at the moment for some reason, and Nunes coming on, which just made everything more solid. So, you know, I think we can cut the guys some slack. We won. What more do you want? Do you want us to win 5-0 every game? First game of the season. You remember Bournemouth have not been beaten since January.
Yeah.
Their last defeat against any opposition was January. And if you started to watch that game yesterday thinking we were going to piss it, then you're deluded. Or expecting that we'd piss it, you're deluded. There was no chance we were going to batter them in that game. It was going to be a close game. And it was. They haven't been beaten since January.
You've just got to find a way to get over the line. It's going to be the same on Friday as well. Until we get these players in that he wants and he can get his right profile. That's the important bit as well, the right profile of player for his system. Because he can see what he's trying to do. He can see it. He's not got the right players to implement it fully.
Yeah. I do think that there is some value on understanding where the patterns are not quite working so that we can keep track of it to see if MARESCA is changing the pattern slightly to find a pattern that suits the team, or if we're going to have to jump on the market to see a new player to fit that pattern. Because some of the things that we were doing yesterday was brilliant. Like the first 20 minutes when we were finding the ball long and then knocking it down to midfield to then switch the play and then find Haaland in the space. That was brilliant. That was working out fantastically. But that approach only works when we have the opposition come onto us. If the opposition sits back, then we can't do that again because there is no space to run into if the opposition is running into that space, right? And the problem becomes, and it happened against Arsenal as well, when the opposition drops deeper, they give us 10, 15 yards to work with. How do we create in those situations? Because we do look very stifled when they drop deeper. And we need to understand, is it going to be a systematic problem? Are we just lacking the profiles? Is it something that MARESCA needs more time? I think throwing the baby out with the bathwater is mental in the first game, in game week 1, really. But saying that, okay, we don't need to look at the problems, I don't think it's quite right either. I think we need to have the balance into this.
So what do you think we're lacking?
What I think of what?
What are we lacking? Can you
I think
say
we're lacking
that
central creativity. I think we have. No, I don't have the answer. I think we have to see what the answer is going to develop. I think a possible answer could be just when we have a proper winger in the club, then Poland comes back inside, and maybe that brings us the creativity back. Maybe when we have a proper winger, we're able to play Cherki in field because the winger is going to be able to track the outside a little bit better, so we can have a player who's a little bit less efficient out of possession. Maybe the answer is to get O'Reilly in as a fullback so that he can arrive late into the box, and then the winger is able to cross the ball into a late coming O'Reilly. There are many possible answers. I don't have the right one because, again, I'm not with the team.
So if we persist with the back three when we're defending, who are the back three for you?
I would say
Nunes,
GUEHI.
GVARDIOL, and O'Reilly.
I would say Nunes. No, I would say Nunes, Diaz, Nunes, Diaz, and Josko, with O'Reilly being the left-sided left back, and then dropping into the midfield later on. So out of possession, it would be Nunes right back, Diaz right-sided centre back, Josko left back, left-sided centre back, O'Reilly left back, and then when we get the ball, O'Reilly jumps up, Josko goes a little bit wider, Diaz goes to the central, and Nunes comes a little bit infield to be the right-sided centre back.
I like that. I really like it. Yeah, that feels about right to me.
Until we get done on the count and there's no
this I think everyone's going to go, what does Cherky do to Foden? And again,
but that's the danger with a back three, right, Danny? Isn't that always a danger, playing a back three in defence?
No, it is.
Going forward,
that's where Cousinov comes into it for me. Is I just think
because he's fast,
he's reliable for that. Just when but then again, Nico O'Reilly's fast. To be fair,
true.
So yeah.
So Nico's not really ever getting his shot as a proper midfield player this season, is he? You're not going to get him in that GUEHI role, because he's just too good. He's just too good on that left side as in defence.
Rico to play football, I think he will need to leave, but that's up to him to make that decision. If he's sort of happy to just be a bit part playing Carabao Cups, then who am I to sort of, I don't mind him, I don't hate him, I think there's so much traffic in front of Rico at the moment.
I meant Nico, sorry.
Oh, Nico.
Nico's never... Do you remember I asked a few weeks ago, is the reason why Nico won't get his chance at being a midfielder is because he was so good at left back? I mean, is this hybrid role...
He might play in between both, or like a hybrid role, yeah. You just don't know what's going to happen this season, do you? Do you know what I mean? I think that's the beauty of Nico O'Reilly. You can... do a bit of everything with him.
See, do you know what it is with me with O'Reilly? I've never been that impressed with him in midfield.
I know you've not, Martin.
I think he can drive forward really well.
I love Nico O'Reilly.
When you start doing the intricate passing, I think he loses it a bit. I think he's brilliant at them, like what I call yaya runs. I think when you start doing the one touch, two touch, I think he gets caught a little bit for me.
When you get him running down that wing and you get him passing balls in and you're getting corners in, getting him on the head. I call that on Sunday. I was like, watch. I said to my daughter, she was like, you watch this corner's going towards Nico and he's gonna head it in. As he headed it to the ground and it bounced over.
Yeah.
By the way, big up Luke, 26 months, my mate. Thank you so much for your kind support.
He's more physical as well than he gets credit for. There's a lot of physicality. When he was in the academy, he was very physical. He's a unit of a guy. He's a big guy.
I'm going to be honest, though. I would take Kushinov out for a couple of games at the minute. Not that not that he's a bad player. I'm going to be honest. I think Kushinov looks very shaky at the minute for me.
The role I think for Kus this season, the role I see for him this season is tactical. If we're afraid of speed on their left side, that's when you put Kusinov in, because the recovery is necessary and he's got the speed to recover from anyone. We watched him put Vinny Jr. in his pocket, so, and I think that he can do that. I thought he was at fault for the goal yesterday because he dragged Diaz out of position because of where he went. Kusinov shouldn't have been there going all the way out there.
He did look lost yesterday.
He shouldn't have gone out there.
If you listen to GUEHI's comments, though, in the interview he did, he said, we're trying to play this new system. We're not used to it. We're just going back to old habits.
Yeah.
You can't really blame them, for that, can you?
Everyone's got to go at Diaz.
It's not had the time to get it. Yeah.
You watched that goal yesterday. Kusinov does what he does. Diaz has to go and cover as the senior centre-back. Diaz is going covering the area that wasn't getting covered. So now Diaz is out of position, which then all left Rico on his own for just the ball across, bang. Rico's on his own then. And that was part of the problem. Because everyone's blaming Diaz because they won't, for some reason, if you say anything against Kusinov, you're hung, drawn and quartered. You can
Not
give
really.
constructive
It's only by a
criticism
subset. It's only
to
by a
anyone
subset of fans.
but Kushner. You can't
It's
give
only
constructive criticism.
it's only a subset of fans. We know where that comes from because it's the Mahrez effect of the influx of fans that we've got because he's from their country, and so that
I
skews
saw
that
people
dialogue.
starting shows going at Diaz.
Yeah, sure, but I think we know where it comes from. You know, the negativity towards certain players has a definite root. But I thought that I tried not to draw any conclusions from the Community Shield because it's just a nonsense game, right? It doesn't mean anything. And I think you can't draw too many lessons, but people have to make content. So people did hour-long shows about ripping the team apart, because of a Community Shield. And, let them. That's fine. It's entertaining for some people, not for me. But if there's anything that I can say about those two games is Diaz is off it at the moment. And I think that might be rustiness as well. Or I don't know if it's fitness or rustiness. I don't think he is the captain. He should be the captain. I don't think when we knew last year that he was going to be the captain this year, or early on in the close season, we kind of got that message. Nobody said, that's wrong. Everyone went, yeah, makes sense, especially if Rodri goes. So I think he is that guy, but he's just been off it for 2 games. And once he gets going, I don't think there's a problem.
I don't think Diaz and Kushner suit each other as a partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes players just don't suit. And I think with Diaz needs to concentrate on his own game. Some players don't want to, or they're not able to help along the younger players.
That's what I was just going to say to you, man. Because that's what his role is when he's got buzzing off, and he's kind of like. But that's where he leads the back line, though. That's his job in a way, though, isn't it, to lead the back line?
See, for me, I'd go back to GVARDIOL Diaz, but he's playing this back 3. So right now, I'd probably go GUEHI, Diaz, and GVARDIOL. And again, that's not me having to go at Kushner. Kushner's had an hard time. He had a very poor World Cup. He had a poor end to last season.
He was playing for Uzbekistan.
So I think he's a bit emotional at the minute. He's still learning.
Martin, did anyone who plays for Uzbekistan have a good World Cup? I mean, come on.
No. I understand that, but I don't think he particularly had a good end to the season, Trev.
No, I don't think so.
One of them. He needs a series of games to get going, I think. It was the same last time. Once he started getting going, he got a series of games under his belt. So maybe being brought out for a few games will do him world of good. Because that worked first time round, didn't it? He learned a lot sitting on the bench and on the touchline, just watching and learning. Because where I sit on the touchline, and the players are there telling watch this, watch that. So, it did help him. But once he gets them series of games on his belt, he gets going.
He's not the guy you want to bring on when you need to close out a game for 15 minutes. That's Kovacic. He's exactly the guy you want. The right tool for the right job. Kova coming on for the last 15 minutes, never gives the ball away, battles hard, and might put one of those through balls down the middle for Haaland to run on, which he does incredibly often. I've not seen the stats and I ain't got them, but I think he creates a lot for Haaland. Two chances a game when he probably gets 8 chances in a game, so Kusanov's your guy to close out a game, absolutely. Kusanov ain't that guy, so he probably has to start to get that run of games. I think, Danny. I think that's a great point you made.
Ash, that's where I disagree. Because again, Diaz is covering for Kusanov being rash. You got to look at it from a tactical point of view.
But we were in defence. We were in defence at that point, so we should have had a back 4. So Lewis has some culpability for that because we had no right back on that move. I was there. We got no right back on that move. Watch it back.
No, actually, the one, because that's the thing. What we were doing at that time was Josh GVARDIOL was jumping to the fullback, and then we became a back 3 on the other side with Federico coming in as a right-sided centre-back. But because they were able to play the ball and then Diaz and Kusanov getting each other's way, and we're late in pretty much every single one of the ball, this allows the opposition to have that overload on that side. It's not like there isn't like a specific thing that happened that is at fault there. It was just a systematic error that is very clear of players not yet understanding where they need to be and when to do the jumps. When they understand that,
Can we give Bournemouth any credit?
Yeah, absolutely, because Bournemouth did
well
that.
Taken.
Bournemouth, if you go back and watch the game again, about 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes earlier, Bournemouth does the exact same play. Exactly the same play. It just doesn't end up in a goal because I think Diaz is able to block the cross. But it's the same play. They go down the right, they bait us into pressing. We're slightly late in the press. They are able to play a long ball over the top. Kusanov and Diaz are not able to deal with it. It falls to the player on the right wing, not necessarily the right winger, but the player on the right wing, and they put the ball in the box. Literally the same pattern.
Yeah. But they did it. He took it well as well. It was a good finish. There's nothing wrong with their goal. I think we can be lured into a trap of looking at who was to blame. But sometimes good goals are good goals, right?
There was people to blame, but I guess like at the end of the day, like they were trying to make up for mistakes along the process of defending. And when that type of thing happens, you're always going to be making mistakes again. And when I make a mistake because I'm trying to correct your mistake, then it's not really on me. It's on the player that made the original mistake. But if the original mistake is a systematic mistake, because nobody really understands the role and when to do the things, then you can't really be judging people in that regard, because it's just something that will happen until the players realize where they need to be and what they need to do. But we're just going to have to accept that that type of thing is going to happen. We're going to be late in those situations.
I just don't want to be here in 2 months' time where every goal scored against us was somebody's fault, because that's not real. That doesn't happen. That doesn't exist. But if people with agendas are going to be looking for, Diaz is getting a lot of shit in the comments. I'm not talking about the comments, Martin, don't worry. But he's getting, someone saying he's been shit for 2 years and all of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I only know Diaz is the scapegoat.
That's the latest scapegoat. But also Kusanov gets it, so does Rico Lewis. And, we've got to be careful that we don't have this blame culture that running rampant all the time. Sometimes goals are good goals. We never blame the defenders of the other teams for every banger that Haaland scores. We don't go, we don't even look at their defenders. We just go, brilliant goal by Haaland. Thank you very much. So, it's just because of the negativity of a lot of the online chatterati, then we can be lured into this trap of looking for someone to blame for everything. And the agenda people will blame the person that they've got an agenda against always. And that I can see it in the chat. That's what's going on right now. It was a really good goal. Were there mistakes made? Probably, yeah. I would say it was more Rico Lewis not being in a right back position, but nobody wants to hear that. So fine. So let's blame the two latest whipping boys and make everybody happy. I just worry that this thing is going to be pervasive, where every goal scored against us is someone's fault.
Morning, guys. Afternoon, evening.
Evening,
I mean, at least it's not Donna. At least it's not Donna getting it.
You can all nitpick. Listen, we got the 3 points. It's a patch-up job. That's what they had to do. I can't understand Lewis playing now. I mean, look down that other goal. Lewis actually looked at him, didn't he, before the cross came in. So you can nitpick all you want. It was a patch-up job. You got the 3 points. You move on.
That's exactly what we've been saying. It's going to be the same on Friday as well. It's going to be the same thing on Friday. It's just a patch-up job, really, and we've just got to see it overriding 3 points. I was, to be honest, I was expecting going in there to get a draw. I didn't think we were going to beat them. I didn't come on here and say, but I anticipated a draw just because I thought we're light in so many areas. And I was impressed. Like I said, that first half an hour, I was impressed with them. I thought, here we go. I mean, bear in mind, I was there on Sunday where I got absolutely battered by them by Arsenal. I mean, that was night and day. I was like, here we go. This is what it's about. Watching Anderson put them balls across and everything, like a phone was ball control. And I was like, this is what I'm made to see. Here we go.
I mean, you've got to give credit to GUEHI, haven't you? I mean, what a game he had. To put him in that position, that was brilliant. That. I mean, we thought when you first seen that, you think, what is he doing? You know, but he stepped up as a captain does. You know, and does the job.
I think people are twisting what MARESCA said, though, when he said, I need to find solutions. And they think, oh, it's GUEHI the solution to midfield. No, it's a patch-up job to get him. His solution is going to be buy new players. That's going to be the solution. But we've got to get there, and we've got to get them over the line. So at the minute, we're just something's gone wrong somewhere. We don't have the players in by now, and whatever that is. But that's nothing to do with us, is it?
I think you'll see the same on Friday. I think you'll still see Foden playing, have Cherky on the bench, and I think you'll get Cherky playing the full game against Coventry. I still think that'll happen.
See, I think people throwing the toys out about this Cherky thing, but then I look back at that Community Shield, and he started Doku, and everyone was going, "Oh, he should have never started Doku because he's injury prone." Well, if his reasoning for not starting Cherky was on the back of Doku getting injured, he's thinking, "Well, what if Cherky's not ready for 90 minutes? I don't want to make that same mistake and get him injured, so I'm going to bring him on later on."
The only question I had, Danny,
doesn't like him.
Danny, the only question I had about the team, what I do before a game, I always look at my bench before I look at the team. And the only thing I questioned was Nunes on the bench and Lewis was playing. That was my question about the team.
Yeah, me too. But I think that might have been a fitness thing.
I think that was that's what I mean. I think it was again. I don't think he could play the full 90 minutes, and I think he don't want to risk it.
I reckon it was. I reckon he was managing minutes. Yeah.
If he'd have played Nunes and he'd have got injured, would have all turned and go, "Why did you play him for the full 90? Why?"
That's right. Yeah,
that's what they've done. It's damned if he does. It's damned if he doesn't. Main thing is,
you can't win, can you?
We've got over the line, and that's all that matters to me.
That's it.
And it's weird that we've got 2 more games and then we got a 3-week break for the fucking internationals. Do you know it's a bit like a phony war. This, it's a time.
When you get going, you get excited. It's like, oh, stop,
and then it's 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and it's
long
time,
isn't it?
If there's a time
it makes
to try
games,
things,
doesn't it? It makes them games so important when you start off before that break.
Yeah. And we won one. We won it.
That's right.
I got to tell you, the lovely Bournemouth family I met at Ashton West tram stop. We got talking to him. He's a mum and dad and 3 kids. I asked them what the score was, and they all said 2-1 to City. And our kid reminded me of it, like after we scored the second goal in the 91st minute. And he said, "Do you remember that family said it was going to be 2-1? They were right." I said, "Yeah, but I don't think they meant it like that."
I mean, you look at Bournemouth. I mean, they're a very good side, Bournemouth. I mean, you look at Scott there. He's such a clean footballer.
Yeah.
You watch his game. He's so clean on the ball.
Sign him up.
Honest. It's so good.
Now, can I just say, in the interest of fairness, can I just say, a Bournemouth fan's going to be happy that he was talking to one of our players in the tunnel and twerking for us in a way. Because I've heard this all summer about other players twerking for other teams, and it's not good.
Yeah.
Are they going to be upset about that?
Is that a social media thing, or did it? Is it a social media thing, or did it happen?
Picture come out. He's sat with Anderson in the tunnel.
If Pep was still here, Pep would have had his arm around him, walking him around the pitch, saying, "And that's where the players' entrance is, and that's where."
Danny, you can sort of say that's just English players talking to each other, isn't it?
No, I'm only joking. I'm winding up.
Pep would have been giving them the tour. That's Dave the groundsman. Steve, he does security on Block C.
I did think though, Governor had a good game. Alex Scott, I was impressed with him. It's a shame we need someone now, and we can't wait because I think give him another year at Bournemouth, and I think he'd be ready for a step up.
Did we try?
As Martin said, are they not answering the phone, Bournemouth? Like,
Did we
players,
try, Martin?
like Wharton or Scott, are these clubs not answering the phone?
Say yeah, in for Scott fully at the minute. Alex Scott will probably go to the team we're about to take their midfield from.
I was going to say, yeah, it looks like a Chelsea.
Okay. Did you see when Fernandez came on? They all booed him.
Well, just let me wrap up the game a minute. Governor, just let me wrap up the game and then we'll get into the news that we've got. Nick, thank you for the 15 months, mate. Appreciate that. You, sir, are a superstar. Thank you so much. Yeah, so obviously we equalised. Cherky, come on. Nunes, come on. Thought Nunes and Cherky changed the game. Cherky is currently not fit enough to play 90 minutes. I know everyone's got into Cherky FC now, and he's undroppable and must play 75 games a season, which isn't going to happen. You know, there's going to be times Cherky will play, Foden will play. Sometimes maybe neither of them will play with what we're about to bring in. So people just need to just relax, let people. We're not a one-man team. I know everyone wants to jump into that. But, you know, Cherky was excellent when he come on. No doubt that Nunes was very, very good when he come on. But
no one's mentioned Anderson. I thought he was solid. Looked like he belonged. Looked like he belonged. Looked like a City player.
He's had no pre-season, mate, and he's not played football properly in about 3 months because he didn't play any football at the World Cup hardly.
Who's that?
Cherky.
Right, yeah.
I mean, Anderson was all over. It was like he was trying to do 2 or 3 players' jobs, wasn't it?
I'm going to disagree. I thought GVARDIOL was poor yesterday defending. I've got issues with GVARDIOL defending at the minute.
Do you know what? I agree with mine. In the Community Shield, there was one bit, and he was running back with Saka, and Saka just shoved him on his ass, and he went down like a potato.
Looks all over the shop defending-wise at the minute, GVARDIOL. Yeah. Going forward, great. Coming back, he just looks all that sorts a little bit. Now, again, just could be that he's having a little bit. Again, it's early. They're getting minutes in the legs. They're readjusting. Yeah. So it's very unfair to start judging these players after one game.
Okay.
I know everyone's judging MARESCA. People who are judging MARESCA right now, you didn't want MARESCA in the first place. And you've looked at anything you can, because at half time, ENZO fired, MARESCA out was trending everywhere. Because all the crybabies started.
I watched all the post-match shows, which is something I rarely do, but I watched them all. And it confirmed to me just that they're all reading from a narrative that they scripted before the season started. And they'll do that regardless of what happens on the pitch. And they did that. All of them, all of the shows were repeating things that they've rehearsed, were repeating things that they scripted before the start of the season. They said exactly what I thought they would. And I was disappointed when I heard them just trot out the same shit. Each one of them, ESPN, Sky, all the pundits, all the analysis, the same thing. And it was anti-MARESCA agenda. You know, they can't wait for him to fail. They want him to fail. They're rooting for him to fail. And that's why I react when I see it in our fan base, because there's some in our fan base who want him to fail as well, so that they can go, I was right, he's shit. You know,
because Rodri was the best CDM in the world, Zagna.
There's enough Chelsea fans that are wanting him to fail as it is. We don't need to be adding to that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's our manager. You need to back him. Do you want the team to win? Do you want the team to be successful? Guess what? He's the manager, and he's the guy that's going to help us do it. So if you start turning on him now, what's that say?
I know. Yeah.
He won his first game. He got us over the line. He dug in. He made the right decisions at the right time. What more do you want out of that first game? Some people could have kicked up a fuss and go, I've not got the players I want in the door. Sod this. Yeah. You've seen it happen before, haven't you? They kick up a fuss because they don't get the players they want. How many managers do you see do that, kicking off? But he's like, no, right, we'll make this work for now. I trust the board. I'm going to get what I want. Maybe not now. I'm going to get it. Let's go with what we've got and let's see what we can do. And he did it.
Do you know if any of us could be asked,
I think people are worried that this is the finished article and it's not.
If anyone could be asked reading the chat right at each point of or rewatching it and reading the chat, I think that almost every single player we've had has got a certain amount of people saying he's shit. So we've got a team that's basically shit.
They're all shit.
Oh yeah, Diaz is bad.
They're all shit, except for Anderson.
Yeah.
Anderson, who I've mentioned, nobody said he was shit. If I mentioned Donnarumma, and I would have expected someone to say he's shit because there always is that community.
I don't think anybody would say that Turkey is shit.
Yeah,
because that's impossible.
I don't know if you know.
Actually, we do have Mars in here, so that's the Turkey is shit over.
Okay, so let's try one more. The one we haven't mentioned. Haaland, was he shit? No, he wasn't.
He is shit.
Of course he wasn't. Hang on, I'm waiting for the comments because someone's going to say he's shit now.
I think we should sell Haaland I think we should sell Haaland just because of the haircut.
No, hang on. No, I'm going to
That's
be honest.
offensive alone.
Do I think Haaland was bad yesterday? No. Do I think he was his rip-roaring? I put it again down to lack of
rustiness.
Yeah, but
rusty is
the
word.
Hair, really. That's the lack of hair, really.
I mean, it's a Samson effect.
But the thing is, the one that came off his thigh, I expect in a week or two that just to bullet into the back of the net.
Of course it does.
I think the ball comes at it at a horrible place because when the ball goes hit high, you just can't really.
You're
really
if the ball is shit, the ball is shit, Martin.
It's just the pass of seeing
one at a time.
It was at the dick it in height. The only thing you can do with a ball like that is just throw your cock at it.
And if you're that far away from the goal, your cock is not going to have enough power, is it?
Want to be blue, we're allowed our opinions as well. And if we think some people have been crybabies, we can say they've been crybabies, mate.
And I was taking the piss.
Now, Martin, are you going to say that the Shirky is shit as well? Or are you going to say that he saved the game?
Well, whenever I said Shirky shit.
all I will say on Shirky, and this is where I was sat. This is where I was sat, right? So obviously the warm up in front of me. I wasn't impressed with his face on him. He had a face like a slapped ass. And I get he don't want to be on the bench, but mate, you cannot be giving them kind of vibes off when the crowd can notice it. Because we could all notice it. We're like, something's off here.
Who was that? Shirky.
It was that. So what they've done now as well, they've changed the way they warm up now. So they've got one of the coaches with them. So normally when they can just stand there for 5 minutes and watch the game, the coach is there on the line going, no, you're not allowed. And Shirky was trying to watch. He was like, no, come on, warm up. And he just had a face like a slapped ass. He was, rather than running back and doing what he was told to do, walking around. I was like, what?
I think
players. We ask the players to be more human, and then when they are, we tell them, no, don't do that. Like,
no, hang on, Fraser. He's only had 10 days. He only came back last Wednesday.
I don't expect
we're going to have
on the bench, but I don't also expect an attitude about it.
Yeah.
It's not what you're going to be doing.
But when he came over to warm up, he had big smiles.
Yeah, when he come running over, he's clapping everyone.
Yeah.
Other than that.
I don't have a problem with a player showing that he's not happy being on the bench. I'm going to be honest. I don't mind.
I don't want players who are happy being on the bench. But you're right. I mean, to show it is different.
That's what I mean.
I think you're right.
If you have an attitude about it, come on and didn't give them 2 assists, it'd be a different story, wouldn't it? Oh, he's got an attitude problem. Why is he not performing? Luckily, he performed.
Our kid had a great suggestion about now we can have trainers, fitness trainers, when they're warming up, that they have to dress as the mascot. And I'm here for that. So the fitness trainer has to dress as the mascot so that we can spot on.
Is this the NBA? Is this the NBA now?
Not a staircase, never.
This is me taking the piss.
And this is me taking the piss out of you.
All right, can we get back to proceedings?
It'd be funny though.
Steve, thank you for
they
becoming a brand new member. Thank you so much. Right, I mean, obviously, really good goal from GVARDIOL. and then GUEHI, and then GVARDIOL with the winner at the end, which a lovely through ball from Shirka, which is what he's really good at there. We scored off a corner. Fuck me, I nearly fell over.
From Chelsea as well.
Hey, message
All right.
from Oriano. Oriano, I haven't seen you for ages, mate. Are you all right?
He's not going to slide into your DM, Spartacus. Calm down, man.
You know what?
I know a flick and
I
a trick.
couldn't understand.
Spartacus, because your country aren't doing that shit.
I couldn't understand Bournemouth. I couldn't understand Bournemouth on them corners because GUEHI did it a couple of times and no one picked him up on both of the headers.
Yeah, because they went zonal marking. They went zonal marking, Governor.
I couldn't believe that.
Michael Rosa does zonal marking. That's what he does.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
They don't do man-to-man. See, you'll see less teams doing man-to-man with these new rules on the referee now. With the new rules of they're going to push on the keeper, you're going to see less and less coming at the goalie now because they know straight away.
It's going to be more of a. I think it's going to be more of a hybrid thing. Some players are going to be marked man to man.
Won me a lot more, mate, including Premier League titles, cups, Player of the Years, Young Player of the Year. You know what I mean, mate?
See, I forgot about these rule changes. And you know, and the ref started doing a countdown, the throw in like this. I thought, freaking hell, Roman Reigns is coming in, going to spin.
Yeah, he was doing that last week, the Community Shield.
It just threw me off.
It happened in the Chelsea game this morning. Chelsea took too long and had to pass it over.
Right, let's get to the big one. Nico G has left. He is going to Newcastle.
I might need a cup of tea. I'm not here for a pity party with the Nico G sexuals. I'm sorry. I've seen it all day long. I'm so over it.
Well, with a channel, Trev, we've got to talk about it.
I know.
I hope he does well. I hope he goes there and ball the fuck out of
time. Jesus, everyone's got all jumped like bloody thing then.
I hope he goes and...
We'll start with you, Danny.
Because you know what I'm going to say.
Bloody thing there. We're going... Right, Nico J, 50 million quid to Newcastle. Yes, there has been a meltdown. Apparently, we've sold Busquets or Prime Rodri or... My God, the way people are talking about him is like we've sold Prime Rodri here, but
So where's this meltdown come from? Because every time I've been glazing him in here, everyone's been against me.
I don't know. I think it's.
I don't think he was given the right chance with us. I'll maintain that. I think.
I agree.
Go back again when Rodri was out. He did a good job for us. I'd have liked to continue. Obviously, Rodri was brought back in, played too many minutes, caused the injury. I think they could have handled that better. At the end of the day, he's going. If he can't stay in be third choice, he just can't be. He's better than that.
He's not even third choice, mate. He's about sixth choice at the minute.
Well, whatever.
When Matt Gay's going ahead of you, never mind Kovacic and Rico. Matt Gay's gone ahead of him.
Right.
He's going to a club that need him. And he's going to a club that will love him because Newcastle love their players. Newcastle fans love their players and get behind them.
Yeah, one of my best mates is a Newcastle fan. He can't wait. He's been asking me all day, is this happening? Is this happening? Because it's getting that more serious. I went, you're going to get him because no one else is in for him. I said, you're going to get a good player as well. And I hope he balls out.
But we are backing him.
Me too.
I mean, for me, Nico G, I just think Nico G didn't suit our playing style. I think he suits a mainly transitional team, which Newcastle played yesterday when they played Liverpool. I think he's going to suit Newcastle like a glove because he needs to be the main guy in the midfield through transition. He can't do the back to play, receiving the ball from behind and turning and all that. Not saying he's a bad player. He's a good player. Not every player suits every single playing style. They just don't. You know, Salah didn't suit every single playing style. Haaland does not suit every single playing style in world football. That's just football.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Doesn't mean he's a bad player. Doesn't mean he's failed. He just didn't suit us at the time.
I
profile.
I respect how he come out and said,
I
respect that he come out and said, I want to stay here and fight. Normally we'd love that, but we're just not in a position for that to happen right
But Danny,
now.
I got told the club weren't trying to sell him. I got told the club loved him and they weren't pushing him out.
Right.
Big up to the person who's watching. You know who.
The only thing on that for me is, I think it might be wrong if Pep might have got in MARESCA's ear and talked about him, where MARESCA should have seen him for himself.
Oh, you're not doing the conspiracy theories, are you, Governor, now?
Well, I don't know. Well, I mean, they must talk about players before we took over. So, if that's happened, it's not right. MARESCA should have seen him for himself. Really.
I am keen to know what the reason is why he's coming straight away and not had a chance to look him, just gone, I don't fancy you. And you're going behind Rico Lewis, you're going behind Kovacic.
It's because Nico G. I can explain that. Nico G, he has a very hard time with central ball progression. And with us, the main way we progress the ball centrally is through the six. So he's not particularly great at getting the ball and bringing it up the field, either himself or finding the best to do that. His passing is usually sideways into a wide player who's then going to progress it. But if you want to play direct and get the ball to the striker faster, then you need to have the player who's going to be able to find those passes through the lines and get the 10s involved. And he's not that. He just isn't that. And unfortunately, like Pep tried to develop that on him, and he couldn't. Like he just didn't develop that. And I think there is a good player in him.
Because when he was playing well, which he was, we were playing transition football, back to front very quickly. We weren't threading the ball through the midfield along the floor. It was a lot of balls over the top.
But even then, Martin, what Pep was doing to him was what I call the Casemiro. It's a tactic where you have a player who's going to be there out of possession as the 6 out of possession, but he's not particularly good on the ball. So what do? In build-up, you ask him to go further up the pitch so that you can bring the players who are better in possession closer to the ball, closer to the goalkeeper, closer to the backline. And we did that with Bernardo and Foden. Nico G was pushing up the pitch. Foden and Bernardo were dropping deeper to get on the ball and progress it. And then when we got into those advanced areas, it switched again. Nico G went back into the 6th row, and Bernardo and Foden went forwards into the 10 rows. So he was always being kind of masked to not be using those weaknesses. But when you drop the 2 more creative players from the creative areas, you vacate those, which allows the opposition to put more pressure on because they're not as scared of Nico G getting the ball through in between lines, right? So it's all a trade-off situation, and when Rodri comes back, you don't need to have that trade-off anymore.
Massacres. We bought Nico G, right? We bought Nico G playing as an 8, and he never actually played in that position for us. Pep wanted to change him to a 6.
As an 8, he's not going to start ahead of Anderson. He's not going to start ahead of Foden. He's not going to start ahead of Bernardo Silva. He's not going to start ahead of...
That means they misprofiled him then.
Yeah.
That's what I said. They misprofiled him.
Straight, Governor.
Yeah.
I don't want to say panic buy, but it's no coincidence that all the players we bought a year and a half ago in that January window, apart from Kushinov and Vitz Hayes, have all left. All of them.
So Marmoush and 2 of them. 2 of the 4.
He got rid of Trafford as well.
Oh, no, Trafford wasn't in the January.
No, what I mean is all the players that recently come, it says, if you watch the documentary, the board admit they took a gamble on some signings. It didn't work. And it's okay.
I did not watch the documentary, by the way.
We've corrected them straight away. Not saying they're bad players, but Mamouchi's gone, Sabinho's gone, Trafford's gone, Nico G's gone, Tijani Reinders has gone. They've all gone.
We're getting caught for dodgy dealing now, aren't we? Hey?
Of course. I hope we are.
Well,
because they're going to say anyway. So I hope we've been absolutely bent as a 9-bob note and actually done some really shady shit. I really hope so, because they're going to say it is anyway. So it don't fucking matter, does it?
Thank you for becoming a YouTube member, my friend. Much appreciate that. And King has come in with 1,000 jewels with the gold trophy. Thank you so much. I have no idea what the value of that is, but thank you so much.
About
could
1p.
Be a penny, could be a thousand.
It is about 1p.
Thank you.
I think 100 is 1p.
Every little helps. Like a Tesco advert. Right. Mamouche going to Tottenham on a loan, but if he plays so much, it becomes permanent. Savinho, that deal should be announced very, very soon. Everything agreed. BOUADDI did his medical today. BOUADDI has done his medical, said goodbye to Lille yesterday, come today, done his medical and all his media stuff. That should be announced tomorrow. And Alan, we had to buy an Alan. He's on his way.
Alan.
Deal agreed from Palmeiras.
Steve.
He's on his way as well. And yes, the Cody Gakpo rumours are 1,000% true. They have inquired as the Mamouche replacement.
Sorry, I missed that, Martin. Who was that?
Cody Gakpo is wanted as the Oman Mamouche replacement.
He wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Here we go already. Here we go, Cody Gakpo.
Oh, and Manchester City are ready in their first major bid for ENZO Fernandez. They are going to try and sign 3 midfielders in this next 5 days. Don't ask me who the third midfielder is. There is still interest in Wharton. If City get the way, they'll get BOUADDI, Wharton, and ENZO Fernandez.
I'm loving all the Allens in the chat. Everyone knows that meme.
All 3 will come.
I thought Spurs were going for Gakpo.
No, we are now. Well, they both are. No, because they've got Mamouche and Savinho. They've spent all their money now, Governor.
All right.
I can't understand why Liverpool would even consider selling to us.
Big up, guys. Thank you, mate. Let's
You know why Spurs have done all these transfers, don't you? Because the City guy's gone there, hasn't he? The recruitment man.
I'll come back to that in a minute, Matthew. So yes, Cody Gakpo. I'd be over the moon with that. I'd be quite happy with that.
He's decent, isn't he? He's not set the world on fire, but he is decent as a rotation.
I think we will just make the same Mamouche mistake again. Like,
I agree with Spartacus.
Right.
How much do we have to lose?
There is no moves for Kone.
How much do we have to spend to understand that you can't have a player like a Mamouche, like a Cody Gakpo, to be Haaland's replacement?
Who is then? What's
Who'd
the
you
profile?
get then? Who'd you get then, Sparky? Who'd you get?
You either have to keep a youngster like Mukasa or the kid who went to West Ham, I forgot his name. Or you have to get a much older player who's about to retire.
I think
you're just going to be spending 80 million.
Older, because
Who said it's 80 mil?
Because
some guy said it on Twitter.
No, Martin, that was the price that Liverpool were asking Spurs.
Right. Well, Chelsea told us 140 million quid for Chelsea for ENZO Fernandez. We're not going to pay that.
Yeah, then we're not going to get him.
Do you want to bet?
Is it?
I'll have you.
No, Martin. I mean Gakpo. I don't mean ENZO Fernandez. I mean Gakpo.
We'll get him for less than 8.
Yeah, but even like, you spend 60, 70 on him. Like, you're just spending 70 on a player that you're going to have to sell in 12 months' time, 18 months' time at best.
Why would you need to sell him?
But
because they're never going to be happy.
But given our selling history, we'll probably sell him for 80. You know,
they booed every touch. When he came on, they booed every touch.
Yeah.
No,
I just think the revolving door is.
They're actually after Cody Gakpo is the guy they're actually after.
Why don't we just wait?
As a winger, as a forward.
Why don't we just wait for Forest to buy Delap and go get Chris Wood?
I like it.
Danny, you coming? Danny, you're going to be Richie's best friend.
That crap.
You'd be happy to sit on the bench, though.
I do think you need to go for an older type of, like I say, you're going for the youth now, and they're all getting ahead of themselves and buggering off. I think you should go towards the back end, like an older player. I'd have said, me personally, I'd have gone and tried to get Dominic Calvert-Lewin out of Leeds.
Yeah, good call.
Because
Where's Zach?
the amount of games he's playing anyway, he's not going to challenge Haaland, is he? He's never fit enough to do it. So the amount of games we would need him to play would be perfect for him.
Yeah.
Where's Zeko?
Wasn't he just the right man for the right time for the right team, Dzeko?
I didn't mean no. Dzeko's going to Chelsea. He's more in their age bracket.
But yeah, do you know? I'm not saying as a striker. I'm just saying Mahrez is out of contract and he hasn't got a club. By the way, so it looks like Mahrez is retiring. Odd, because he bowled out in the World Cup. He did okay.
See, to me, he did his medical today, Ash. To me, I actually think Gakpo's a very good signing if we get him. He's 27. He can play he can play wing, can play up front. I'm more than happy with it if you pull that off. People forget we're trying to build a squad. People are still trying to build an 11. We're trying to build a squad.
Let's say that Gakpo plays on the wing. What is the best attribute, the two best attributes of him? And what are the two worst attributes of it?
Well, yeah, I'm not saying he can fly down the wing and put crosses in, even though I have seen him do that for Liverpool at Anfield on many occasions. But we're talking about a guy, when Liverpool won the title a year back, got 15 goals or whatever it was. So he knows where the onion bag is. He knows where the onion bag is. But like you said earlier on, we need someone who goes to the back stick.
No, that's Haaland. Haaland does that. Yeah.
No, because Haaland does that.
He always does that. He has been doing that. That's his main thing.
Once yesterday.
Yeah, but that was yesterday, Martin. Like, I'm sorry. He did that for 4 years.
Well, yeah. Hang on, is there any play anyone likes? Because any play we link with, everyone just slags them off now.
Anderson, Watson.
Sake.
Anderson and Watson, yes. Very good players. I like BOUADDI as well. I don't think that BOUADDI and Anderson is particularly smart to have both of them, but both good players.
I love how people are saying we're in the Champions League and these players aren't good. We're talking about backup to Haaland, not freaking Haaland. They're not playing the Champions League.
to me, Gakpo is a goal scorer, and that's what you need. Again, I'm building him as.
What's going on here?
Is there a case?
Somebody doing DIY.
Now somebody's having a good time. Eh?
Someone doing DIY.
Who's that?
Sounding like bloody sandpaper, that. Listen, I'm not saying Gakpo's amazing, but who do you want to back up Haaland and Mbappe? I mean, come on, guys.
Is there a case? Is there a case to be made that the way a team has to set up for Haaland means that nobody can ever be a backup for Haaland?
Well, we have to play a different way to back up whoever comes in.
No. Trev, I think nobody is going to be good enough to be a backup for Haaland and not notice that Haaland is gone. It's the same thing with Rodrick. Nobody that he would have thought to be the backup to Rodrick is going to be good enough to feel like the backup.
I get you, but that's not the question I'm asking. Is Haaland such a unique, unusual forward that a team has to set up to play for him? That then, no matter who you put in there, no matter who else, if he gets injured, you actually have to reconfigure everything about the team in order to accommodate somebody else's style, a more traditional forward style. Is the dependency on Haaland?
I think Haaland is the more traditional type of striker. I think the thing is, if you get a player on the profile of Haaland, I don't think you give away a lot of things, right? You give away the striker who's good on the ball, who's able to drop deep, create numerical superiority, roam through the field, and create those overloads in other areas for a player who's going to be a penalty box striker, right? A guy who's going to stretch the back line. I think there is no other player on the planet that is as good as those at those things as Haaland to be justifying giving away all of the other things that you give up by having Haaland or that profile of player.
Right.
Does that make sense now?
No, it makes sense. What I'm saying is, I think we're in a position where maybe we can never be satisfied with whoever comes in to be there if Haaland's injured.
Thank you. That's my whole
Yeah,
point.
no, you
Never
can't.
be satisfied here.
By the way, I would be very happy if we got Mukasa to be the backup. I think he's more the
Macassar
fine.
needs to
Or
play. Macassar needs to play Spartacus, hence he's gone to West Ham.
Is there any other
it
forward
wasn't
that we
was
could...
Mukasa? Wasn't the other one who went to West Ham? What's
No,
the name of the other one?
Mabamba's gone to. Where's Mabamba gone?
Wasn't Mukaka to West Mobamba to West Ham and
No, Macassar's gone to West Ham.
Southampton.
Yeah, Mabamba's
yeah.
gone to Southampton.
Didn't he go
Macassar's
Southampton?
Yeah, Macassar's gone to West Ham. Southampton.
Martin, I think if you bump the wages a little bit and tell them that you're going to play the Carabao Cup until
No,
the big
they
team.
want to play. No, they want to play, mate. You know this. They want to play.
Well, then you get go ahead and get no striker.
They're not going to do that, though, are they?
Yep.
See, I'm with Amar with a £2. Thank you. Gakpo playing the wing gets 25 G&A consistently, which I'm just having a look at his stats, and he does get goals and assists. £2 is no way people actually want. Pardon?
He doesn't really get that many assists, though.
Does he not?
It's not a creative player.
Well, the season before last, he got 18 goals, 7 assists. That's more than any of our wingers.
He comes off the left, doesn't he?
But you're asking him to be a
I think
backup
we're all on the
striker.
left.
I'm not asking him to come in and start.
But then he's not going to have the minutes to get those 18 and 7. So
Right, then how do you build a squad, Spartacus?
I don't think you
The
can.
only-
I think
the only
building a
thing we have
squad is not
Spartacus.
possible.
Jesus, man. You know,
Spartacus, you've got to look at our wingers. Look at our wingers. I mean, Doku and Semenyo, you know, they can get injured. They're not going to play all them games.
exactly. Can't have Haaland playing 70 games. People are forgetting we're trying to build a squad. Thank you.
And I think that's not possible.
£2 is no way out people want. Yeah, I do. I don't know. People, you're not going to get these top strikers to come and back up Haaland.
No.
I'm not asking for that.
Then what are you asking for?
Get an old player like a Borja Iglesias.
Xabi Alonso and Enzo in football. I'm not surprised by anything we will see this week. My wish that we know what will happen in the future, but we'll see this week. Yeah, that sounds like the guy. Yeah, see in contact with Chelsea.
The only player that would be happy is what we've been saying, is an older player to sit on the bench. That's the only player that would be happy sat on the bench.
I think that's the way you need to go.
As somebody said,
I think that's the only way.
Bowen signed an extension at West Ham. He's not going anywhere.
He's never
He's
leaving.
one club man.
See, the thing is with me,
He makes
Gakpo
way
knows
too money
how to play. Gakpo knows how to play against a low block because they play at Liverpool have to face low blocks a lot. So he knows what he's doing in that. I'm not saying he's perfect, but for me, you can get him for 65, 70 mil. Fine. Who do you want to go and get? Liam Delap?
I don't think Liverpool fans want him either. Really?
No, but Liverpool fans, this is what amazes me. They're going getting Yakuba Minter.
Like I said, I'd have gone with
I think
Dominic
Minter's a
Calvert-Lewin.
decent player. I think Minter is a
It won't
good
be a bad
backup
choice, Danny.
option, to be
It
honest.
won't be a bad choice, Danny.
I'm with you,
You know.
Amar. We're trying to get a squad game and everyone wants Ballon d'Or level at every level.
I've just said Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I was in your Ballon
Yeah,
d'Or.
you've gone
Iglesias is
completely
not
the
about.
other way. You've gone the other way.
Yeah.
Borja Iglesias is not Ballon
He's
d'Or,
not going to
Martin.
think he can outdo Ireland.
Anyone got any views on Echeverria? Yeah, they'll be gone probably by the end of this week.
Messi.
Messi, he's not even getting on the bench. Our squad's as weak as anything right now. He's not even getting on the bench. That tells you how
Is it weak?
We need the players.
I'd say our bench is Trev. Yeah.
We just beat a team that hasn't been beaten since January by anybody.
Trev, we're having to improvise.
This is our bench. Right, this is our bench.
Trev, we haven't to... Martin, let me just say this. We're having to improvise a centre-back at the 6 in game week 1. The squad is weak.
We've got 2 players on the bench who were leaving today.
Right, we've got 2 players coming in this week. Are we still weak?
One was nothing good, nowhere near good enough right now.
Yes, Mifuni's loan has been cancelled because Coventry have gone somewhere else.
I've got a bounce, guys.
BOUADDI's.
Big up, Governor.
No, I mean, Alan.
Take care, guys. Take care. See ya.
Bye-bye.
I mean, is anyone upset about Mamouche or Savinio or where you at with them?
I'm just okay about
Got no problem with them leaving. The problem is,
and I'm happy. I'm happy with the money we got for them as well. I think it's good business.
My only problem with the whole situation is the lack of planning and leaving it to the last week of the transfer window to get the players or to get the players out for the sake of making an extra 5 million.
I need to bring out my most boring statistic of the month. Do you want it? Every
you already said this to me on the you already said this to me on the DMs. That's the thing. Like, you can't put City, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Liverpool, all of them in the same basket because they have different goals. You have to bunch up the clubs who have similar goals together. So for Bournemouth, it's not a particularly big problem to bring players on the during the.
This is not this season's pattern. It's a 15-year statistic.
I know, but again,
so I don't understand what's wrong with it. You know, a normal window has 70 transfers, 40 of them are done in the last week, and 28 of those are done on the last day. That's a fact. If that's been true for 15 years, that's a fact, regardless of the teams that are in the market. You can't say that it doesn't apply to us.
No. I'm saying that you cannot bunch. You cannot group the teams like Bournemouth, who's trying to get into Europe, and that's it. Like Coventry, who's just trying to stay in the first division. A Crystal Palace, who's happy to be at 11th. In the same basket as City, Arsenal, and the teams who are going to be fighting for the league, because fighting for the league, you need to have. No, you can't, because they're not the same.
Let me finish. I think that, and had we been able to continue that conversation, I think we would have got here, which is good because it was a good conversation. The transfer market is like the housing market. Every transfer affects another transfer. Every outgoing affects an incoming. Up and down the leagues, we sign from teams who are lower down the league, but they're dependent on getting somebody else in, and so on. It's a domino or a housing chain. So I don't think you can say I don't think you can separate the top 4 teams out from those dominoes, because Anderson, okay, we got it done early. But I think, Marinakis already knew what his team needed, and he sold him to fund what the team needed. And he must have been fairly sure of getting who he wanted. So that's an example of a lower order team. Usually on us to buy their player to fund what they want to do next. So I think they're all interdependent.
Usually, more often than not, this is how it goes for a smaller team. They're happy to sell the player at market value in the beginning of the transfer window, because they're going to have the whole window to plan and find a new player to replace the player that they sold. The longer it goes through the window, the more expensive this player gets, because they don't have as much time to replace them, unless they already bought the replacement beforehand, which is usually very unlikely. And it doesn't look like this the situation that is going on right now, because the players that we are looking into, we've been looking at it from the beginning of the transfer window when we could have bought a few of them. Really, Alan isn't the case, and actually a lot of them isn't the case because that wasn't the case with Cody Gakpo either. But most of the players we're not really looking from the beginning of the season. We try to wait to sell our players at the end of the season so that we could get more money for them, so that other teams were more desperate to buy them. But we are also forgetting that to get that 10 million extra in every single sale that we had, we're going to have to spend an extra 20 to 30 to get the other players in, because the other teams, they're going to be under the same effect. And that's the problem. The planning for this transfer window was abysmal. And you can't tell me that beginning the season with a 6 being a centre back because we just couldn't pay the 100 million from the beginning for BOUADDI, that we're going to end up paying in this regardless of that. And I always speak in euros, by the way. I never speak in pounds because the information that I get is in euros. We got offered 100 million for BOUADDI in the beginning of the season.
We are in the UK, so we have to deal.
Yeah, but I don't. But Martin, I can't do the transformation by head. I'm sorry. I don't know how much.
It's about 85 million for BOUADDI.
Okay, so we got offered about 85 million to buy BOUADDI in the beginning of the transfer window during the World Cup. We refused it. We tried to haggle. Yeah, it went up to 120 because we tried to haggle it and left it late. No, if we bought him when we knocked in and they said 85, that's it.
The 85 came up, and then Arsenal and Liverpool were straight in there, and United even tried. Right, there was immediately competition. He wasn't really.
You know that he refused every single one of them. They refused every single one of them
because
he
the
refused.
Owner is capricious. He's more of a Marinakis type person, and he was trying to keep the player for this season. Liverpool bailed on that condition, as did the other two clubs. Both of the other clubs said no. We played a longer game. Once they went out, we were in a position to say, we'll still pay you, but you're not keeping him, and we're the only ones left standing with money. Do you want this money that you've already spent in your head because you thought 4 clubs were going to fight it out for him, and now you look like a dick? And then I think we handled the BOUADDI transfer as well as we could have done, given the capricious nature of the owner.
Again, BOUADDI said no to the other clubs. It wasn't Lille that said no or they pulled out. He said no, I don't want to join Arsenal. I don't want to join Liverpool. He said no to the other clubs. He said no. That's why they pulled out.
Yeah, that's new information to me, mate. I didn't know that.
He didn't want to be the backup for Gavin Batch. He didn't want to be the backup for Bruno G or Declan Rice. He wanted to come to City because he would.
Well, he didn't know that Bruno G had gone to Arsenal. That only happened last week.
That deal was done a long time ago. It was done a long time ago.
And he knew that. I'm not having a go. I'm just thinking it through. It doesn't sound
a particularly good secret, by the way.
I just feel like anyone we buy at the minute, there's a meltdown somewhere.
And but that's normal. Everyone we sell is a meltdown.
But everyone was selling, everyone was buying. It's just a hell of a big meltdown. And everyone just, listen, I understand that it's new. I understand we've got new people at the helm and everything else. But it's going OTT now.
But I think that's the hysteria of the window. And I think I'm close to understanding this. The hysteria of this particular window, and I think it's got a lot to do with FIFA and fantasy Premier League teams. I think it's got a lot to do with FPL because those people are hyper focused on transfers because it affects their pretend teams. But I think that they drive a lot of the conversation. I think they drive a lot of the hysteria. I don't think it's football fans. Do you know what I mean? I think, yes, they also watch real football. I think there's also
the fact that I think there's also the fact that we are getting downgrades in the players that are leaving. Alan is a downgrade on Savio. Gakpo is a downgrade on Mamouche. BOUADDI is a downgrade on Rodri. Like, we're getting downgrades.
But we could have
In
said that.
what? The only one is disagreeable.
We could have said that. We could have said that when Rodri came in instead of
Rodri
to
was not
replace
Rodri when he
Fernandinho.
came in.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that that's correct
We're
either
not
or
going to buy
accurate.
the world class.
Martin, I'm not saying that he won't end up.
Let me speak. Please let me speak. Right? When Maresca said it himself, everyone panicked when Aguero went. Everyone panicked when Fernandinho went. Everyone panicked when Mahrez left. Everyone panics. And Maresca said there was always a replacement.
I did a list of the players who I personally thought, what the fuck are we going to do when they go? Yaya Toure was first on the list because he's the first player I remember of this era thinking, what are we going to fucking do when he goes? Because we're screwed. David Silva was another one. What are we going to do when David Silva goes?
Right.
He's
Sanko,
so important to what we do. And we have replaced them.
Right, you just said Gakpo is 28. That is the age they're trying to buy. He wants experience. Premier League experience.
So why are we getting a 22-year-old to be the right winger who doesn't have even European experience?
Because maybe they scouted him and their opinion's different than yours.
That is the gamble. I'm not saying they're not all gambles, but for the main areas, he wants to buy Premier League experience. And I'm sorry, Gakpo is far better than Mamouche.
And plus the wing is more. There's more competition there for spots, isn't there? You can take someone's spot off them. No one's taking Haaland's spot. That's the difference. I think that's why you need the older profile to back up Haaland on the wing. If someone outperforms Doku, they're getting that spot. Someone outperforms Semenyo, they're getting that spot.
Sanko, it's not our money.
There's more chances to play. So you
not our money, Sanko. Why is everyone bothered about the money all of a sudden?
We've got loads of money.
I think
look at what we sold the players for.
Accountants. Are we fans or are we accountants?
See, this is the FPL guys. They all think that they're football accountants and scouts now.
I think the bulk of this comes down to where we are in the transfer window and the bulk of outgoings, and there's no incomings, and people are just losing their minds a little bit. Maresca said there's options there. He must have told us. I can get where people are coming from. We're in the last week and they're shitting themselves a little bit. Let's look at it next Monday and see where we are next Monday. And if we're still in the same
position, you are spot on, Daniel. That is what it is. People are panicking.
Martin, you kept saying
Martin, I'm being a critical.
No, we get it, Spark.
Sorry, go on, Trav.
No, it's good that you're saying it because it's making us think, and that's what I like when that happens on the shows and in the chat. When people make us think or reconsider our own opinions, that's what this kind of thing is for, right? You know, there's loads of times I've changed my opinion on the shows.
I listened to Tim Vickery on Ramble the other day. The way he sounded about him was exactly what we need.
Yeah. I tried to
a player who's not particularly good at anything.
Right, well, Tim Vickery doesn't agree with you.
Yeah.
No, he said that he's not particularly. There is no outstanding thing up to his game.
No, but he also said he's not a typical Brazilian because he tracks back and he's physical.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also said that he gets thrown to the ground easily as well. So
yeah.
Oh, then let's just go and buy all the fucking superstars then.
The fact remains, we're on the 24th of August, right?
We
can bitch, we can moan, we can complain about if we should have bought who and what times. The fact still remains, no matter how much of bitching and moaning we do, we're still on the 24th of August. You can't go back and change what's been done. We are where we are. Let's see where we are.
We're on the 24th of August. We're on the 24th of August with about 400 million in our pockets. It's not
Enzo Maresca's happening.
You've got to trust
Enzo
the
Fernandez.
If he's saying his options there, you've got to trust the guy.
Enzo Fernandez is going to happen. He wants to move. City want the move, and Chelsea are getting resigned to the move.
Yeah.
Well,
I have got a super chat. Please don't use this language. Please be careful, mate. I thank you for the £10. 65 or 7 is insanity. Be honest, moving like a twat. disagree with you. I can't believe I'm hearing people say, okay, to Gakpo was a trick and happy shooter from left wing. That's all he does.
You know what's the big thing with getting the chance?
Hang on. Is there another guy who scores 15, 20 goals GA in our team other than Semenyo and Haaland?
O'Reilly can get there. Foden got there before.
We're building a squad, not an 11.
Again, the thing with me, especially with how late it's gone, is when the season kicks off, there is no time on the training ground, really. Because let's be realistic, we play every 3 days. So you play on Sunday, Monday, recovery training, Thursday, actual training, Wednesday, you're probably going to be playing. Then you go into recovery training the next day, Friday proper training, Saturday you go into just warm up just before the game training, which can't be particularly hard. Then Sunday you go back and you train again, and you can't train because you're playing. Then recovery training, and that goes on and on and on. So realistically, during the week you have 2 days where you're going to be when you're going to do actual training. So you don't have that much time with the players on the training ground, and that's an issue. That's a big issue. You have that time in the preseason, but we couldn't have the players in the preseason because they didn't get here fast enough. So we're going to have it's going to take a long time to get clicking. Arsenal.
It's almost like there's been a World Cup.
Arsenal got the players in. Chelsea got the players in.
They've got 2 players.
But that's what they needed. They needed 2 players.
Chelsea have bought half the old folks.
Morgan Rogers for 117 million. Lacroix they got as well. They got the guy from Italy who's a good fullback.
Arsenal still need a striker, and they're dreaming. Arsenal still need a striker, mate. The most important thing that they need is a striker, and they ain't got one, and they're still dreaming about Alvarez.
So I think Havertz is good enough. I think Havertz is good enough.
They don't.
Liverpool are still trying to buy
I think Havertz is good enough.
Hang on. Liverpool are trying to spend 200 million in the next 5 days.
I think that's an issue as well, Martin. But again, just because they're having a bad situation doesn't mean that
you don't make any allowance for the World Cup. There is no allowance at all made for the World Cup.
I do, but that's not. Yeah, but that's not an excuse to get it 1 week after the season starts for me.
I'm going to be right, Spartacus. Can we dictate when people bid for our players?
Can we what?
Can we dictate when other clubs bid for our players?
Dictate.
Can we dictate?
You
can
control.
we tell them when to bid? Can we control other clubs?
Well, you can't accept lower bids because if you're going to be haggling for 5 million and then paying an extra 10 on somebody else, it's not the smartest idea, is it?
Who we haggled with? Who we haggled with? Who we haggled with?
I can't say, Martin, but you know who we haggled with a little bit.
Look, we who we haggled with a little bit, Martin. Right, Rodri's different, but we haven't haggled. Sabino, Tottenham didn't put the main bid until last week.
On Rodri, on Savio, on...
Well, if Savio wasn't playing...
Yeah, Martin, but you know that they bid mostly when everything is agreed.
Oh, no. So, Tottenham only put the official bid in last week.
It's interesting. Stefan Borson, he's the 115 lawyer, right?
Yeah, Martin, but you know how the bidding process works. Anyway, mate, I have to go to class right now. Lawyer. Have a good one, everybody. We'll talk later.
See you, Spark. It's always good to talk to you, man.
We're going to have to... We'll talk later. I have to go to class. Bye-bye.
See ya.
I'm sure Sparkus is wanting an argument tonight. Thank you, Sparkus.
So Stefan Borson is the 115 guy, right? Hello, is my mic off?
Yeah,
Can you hear
Oriano,
me?
are you there? Yeah, we can hear you. I'm just trying to see if Oriano's. Oriano, what do you feel? Are you? Is there anyone not panicking at the minute? Is anyone not panicking? Seriously.
I mean, look, I think we've done it late, but I'm not panicking because I think we're gonna get the players in. I think and the players we're linked with, I think they're good enough as well. You know,
Correct.
Gakpo is a good option because he can play on the left. You know, he can challenge Doku, which we've always asked for,
His opinion.
and he can play as a striker when Holland isn't available. So he's a good Marmoush replacement. He's an upgrade, in my opinion. So I don't know why people are angry at that. And the midfield, I think we'll get it sorted. And yeah, I think it's late, but we're gonna have to deal with it because a lot of players left, and it's not easy to handle. You know, Beyond getting all the blame, but it's not easy because of the World Cup and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm not panicking.
Good. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
Stephen Borson put out a snarky tweet that said, I wish we were as good at buying as we are at selling. And I commented, or perhaps we've got the sequence right, which harks back to something that Martin was saying a few weeks ago. We've got to sell these players before we start buying anybody. You know, and so my response was, you know, perhaps we got the sequence correct. But, you know, it was he just snarky response as he often does because he's quite negative. I
think this is the bulk of it, though, Trev. I think it's the amount that's happening in such a short space. We've not seen this. When's the last time we saw this amount of transfer activity?
Probably the last time there was a World Cup, mate. Probably the last time there was a World Cup at the time that it normally happens, because the previous World Cup was weird, wasn't it, in December or something?
Yeah, because it was too hot in the summer.
Yeah. So, you know, the last World Cup that we've had that was like this was 8 years ago, where it was played in the summer.
Many players out at once, have we, for a while?
No, because we had an aging squad as well, you know.
And I like how they're doing that because they can get that out the way for MARESCA to just focus on the new players and be able to build the squad that way instead of taking years and years to get rid of these players.
So this is where I think the panic's coming in, because what all people are seeing at the moment is everyone's going, and then they look at what we put on the pitch on Sunday and they're thinking, oh shit, this is the finished article, we're not buying it. When they're not forward thinking about the next week. They're not seeing what he's trying to do and wants to implement, but he needs the right profile of player, which is what the next week's about. I understand completely. Things could have been done better. Not a problem. I get that. But we are where we are. We can't change it. Just see what happens.
Yeah, it's not just as easy as...
People get Minter. Are we really saying Minter's better than Cody Gakpo?
New tie, mate. New name. Oh,
I'm like...
Check your FPL. Oh, he might be good for me FPL.
I don't. I think people, listen, I understand people are a bit nervous and they're panicking. I get it. Like I said, that's why my expectations lowered a little bit. Because my expectations are very clear. Top 4 this season, challenge for the title next. Because I think we need a year to settle everything down. We need to relax. Get our feet underneath us, get used to it, enjoy the journey again. Everyone's stopped enjoying the journey, and everyone's trying to get to the fucking destination again.
Well, that's the key point, isn't it? And
we enjoyed the journey for 10 years.
People don't want another year of the banter we got last season. That's the truth of it. But if you sacrifice a year, you're built for the next 5 or 6, maybe longer.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's why the club...
Is that not worth it if we get the right players?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's why the club is getting rid of all these players. Because they just want to restart.
Is that, and we want him out, and we want someone else? Is that...
Danny, people, there's an old saying, sometimes you have to take one step back to go 2 forward. Because for me, I don't want to get... I mean, you saw it yesterday. Sack MARESCA. Get this guy. Get rid of that guy. Get rid of this guy. That's how you do become Man United. Because Man United didn't want to build correctly. So what they wanted to do was chase the dream, chase the title. We're Man United. We should be doing this. We should be doing that. Sack a manager. Don't work. Sack a manager. Don't work. Have another 200 million. Sack the manager. So now you're 4 managers deep with 4 lots of players from all previous managers that you don't really want, and you're forever chasing your tail. And then this season, we've got Carrick's at the wheel. Carrick's at the wheel. We've been clever. We've gone and got Yuri Tillemans for 35 million. But you got Dick on by Hull City. Tottenham have spent God knows how much. We got dicked on by Brentford. Aston Villa, we're doing their big rebuild. We got dicked on by Brighton. Guess what? Who didn't get dicked on? Manchester
the team
City.
That's been wrote off by everyone. The team that all the pundits have wrote off. Manchester City.
We're shit. We're negative. We're everything else. We fucking won.
Against a team who haven't been beaten since January.
Grow the fuck up or fuck off.
It just depends on your narrative how you look at it.
Yeah. I'm glad you're dealing with the chat, Martin. It's all nice and calm, and
I'm sorry.
Not getting angry.
We beat a team yesterday that haven't lost the game in 4 fucking months.
That's it. And listen, Friday's going to be a challenge as well. Friday's going to be hard work as well. Palace is not a nice ground to go to. It's a bitch ground. On a Friday night as well.
Do you know the sad thing is? I used to come into YouTube to come away from Twitter. YouTube is becoming Twitter.
They're following you, Martin.
I'm going to start doing bloody Instagram lives instead. Camera on there. I'm not saying don't be panicker. Not saying don't have questions. But my God, can we let the guy...
I find Instagram a bit like an office party that you didn't really want to go to. Do you know what I mean? Instagram, it's kind of, yeah, I get it. I just don't want to be here, but I have to be kind of thing. I'm never charmed with Instagram.
And another thing is with the new players we're getting.
Tone does his shows on there and they're great, but you know, it just, the rest of Instagram, I just don't.
No, just saying.
Exactly. Bournemouth haven't lost a game since January.
Yeah. How many times have we said that?
And a makeshift
About
Manchester
10 times
City
tonight.
With a so-called shit manager beat them.
Where every
with a
player
centre
is
back
shit.
in the midfield.
Yeah.
Just not saying be happy clapper, but people have gone the other way.
Facebook had unks. Hang on. Someone just said Facebook Live with the unks. I didn't know that existed. Tell me more, young man.
Just enjoy
it's just,
it.
If you look at what he's trying to do, if you can just picture it and see what he's trying to do, and if you just think, if we can do that with them players that aren't the right profile, imagine what he can do with the right profile players.
Exactly.
You know? And that's all you've got to
so
think
we're a
about.
one-man team now, are we, Mario?
I don't think that you have to be a happy clapper to say that Sunday's result was a fucking good result. I think you have to be
at the same time, though, Trev, I say, like, look at the players he's got. It says a lot about MARESCA to find a solution and be creative enough to find that solution to get us over the line. Because when times hit the fans and we get injuries, he's going to need to do that again.
And to start GUEHI in the middle in the first Prem game, that needs somebody with confidence that's not scared.
Yep.
And if he's already finding, solutions for problems without all these players, imagine when he does have the players, it's just gonna get better. So, but people will always look at the negative. Oh, we don't have the players, and they don't think that we're gonna end up getting these players and potentially like just get at a really high level, which we can, because I can see the system working. It's a good system in my opinion. And it's not completely different to Pep. I mean, he's played this a lot, but MARESCA does do it a bit different. And with the right profiles, I think we can do really well.
I would ask, and this is a genuine question, are people scared that MARESCA is going to succeed? And because he's not the person they want, does that worry people?
That happens with players. That happens with players too, mate. You're absolutely right, Danny. People want
Me and
MARESCA
Trev said
to
this a
fail.
long time ago.
Yeah.
We said this was coming. We all predicted this was coming because MARESCA wasn't the guy anyone wanted. Everyone wanted
company.
They wanted company or the guy. This is why I didn't want company. Not because I think company's crap, because company, people go, oh, we give company the time. You wouldn't. If company fails, his legacy's gone.
It would turn into hate real quick.
And I don't want that for company. Because the trouble is, any manager after Pep was always going to be a difficult one. Always going to be difficult. It was always going to be difficult. And we just have to just enjoy the journey again. Yeah. Enjoy the games. Go with a smile. Are we going to get beat? Yes. Are we going to win more than we lose? Yes. Will we win trophies this season? Maybe. The guarantee factor has gone. You know what the guarantee factor was Pep Guardiola. And this is why when a lot of fans were telling Pep to fuck off last season. And you know what makes me laugh? Because I'm on my soapbox now. People having a meltdown over all these midfielders that we're selling. But yet the midfield was our worst area last season, according to a lot of fans.
People didn't even want these players.
Nobody wanted out these players that we're selling. Now we all want them because they're going.
It's confusing.
I think the important thing to remember is like Arsenal are a great example of people who don't understand what we achieved. Because the way that they're talking, I mean, they're all high anyway, most of the fucking time, as you will notice if you see and if you talk to any of them, they're just fucking high. And the thing is that now there's an expectation that they will have an era of dominance like we did. There's an expectation that they will win the league, and the pundits are falling for it as well. They've forgotten how unusual it is to win a back-to-back Premier League. Yep. And they've forgotten how absolutely unprecedented winning 4 back-to-back is. But even some of our own fans have forgotten that. It is so unique, so unusual, so spectacularly brilliant to win 4 back-to-back that no one's ever done it. No one will do it. It'll be decades before it's done again. And yet the Arsenal fans are like, well, it's our turn now. We won it now. We won it once. We're going to win them all.
All you got to do is
they're not good enough. They are not what we were. They are nowhere near the quality that we were under those 4 seasons. Nothing like it. You cannot compare.
Is you go back to the incarnation of the Premier League and see how many teams have retained the title. Handful.
Correct. It's 4. I think it's 4 teams have retained it.
Winning 4 in a row. And 100 points, and doubles, and trebles, and quads, and the sextuple or whatever we won with the European Super Cup and everything else we won. They thought that was going to. They thought that was going to be 20, 30 years.
Martin, those fans that you were ranting at a couple of minutes ago, that's who they are, because they arrived then, or they arrived after Pep's first few titles. So they've actually lived in a world where it's normal. And that's why it's so catastrophic that we haven't won one for 2 years for them. For us, it's not.
Yeah,
that's why we're more patient.
You can't blame them for that. At the end of the day, it's like like being rich as a kid, growing up rich, and then all of a sudden your mum and dad lose a job. You're in a council house on beans on toast, and you don't know what the fuck to do. You can live the lifestyle for so long, you're just not used to it. So and I think, then they don't turn your nose up at an education for that it's not normal. And learn what is the normal.
And this is my whole point about, Martin and I have had this conversation and we do disagree about it. But my whole point when I engage in the chat is to try and achieve some of that, to try to get them to understand what it means to be a City fan, what it takes to be a City fan, thick and thin, because we're going through the thin now. And we have to be the leaders who lead them out of that and say, there's another way. This is how you do it as a City fan. You take the piss out of yourselves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're shit and it's unbelievable. We're so shit, it's unbelievable. All that stuff that we've been through, we need to hand that baton on. We need to retain that identity about our club. And if someone's being a dick, it's the most City thing in the world to say, you're being a dick. You know, Martin doesn't agree with me, and he's got good arguments as well. By the way, I'm not dismissing his arguments, but I will always feel this way. I'm trying to work out a way how we help them become City fans that we respect, City fans who can endure a tough time for a while without fucking throwing the toys out of the pram. I know it's chaotic.
A lot of the young fans as well, some of them now, especially when you go on away days, they all get it.
Yeah.
They get it.
Yeah.
And
No,
you know what? At the start of the conversation was going about some of the older Blues that I know. Some of the younger fans were more calm than them on Sunday. So
right.
You get it. You know what I mean? And to be fair, younger fans get a lot of stick on here. They do.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I will say that it was the older fans, and that's why I don't like doing the split thing. It's the older fans and the match going fans who did turn on Rico on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the point I'm making about all these group chats that I'm in.
And they've also turned on Jack Grealish.
The other way.
Because, listen, Danny, I'm going to be honest. Listen, I'm not as happy clappy where I'm going to be like, but because listen, in 2026, it's going to sound awful, but to move forward, Rico Lewis and Jack Grealish should not be a thing at the minute. We should have passed that by now and moved on. That's not saying they're bad. That's not saying they're horrible. But for Rico's own sake, for his own footballing future, he needs pastures new. Jack Grealish is just coming to the end of his career. I would love Jack to go and get a nice payday somewhere, Saudi, wherever, and go and have a grand old time. And let him, whatever. We're getting what we've been asking for. We asked City to be ruthless.
That's what ruthless. We've lost that.
We said the midfield was weak. What did I say 5, 6, 7, 8 months ago? And Trevor remember because he was in the spaces with me. I said the biggest build this season will be our midfield. It was coming because it had to come. I told LB this was going to be the biggest summer since the takeover. I got called liar. I got called a bullshitter. I got called every name under the sun. People have just got to enjoy it. I know it's hard. It's damn hard, especially with the people who know nothing but winning. I get it. My son's 16, know nothing but winning.
But he knows how to be a Blue.
Because he's got me, so it's cheating.
Exactly. But I want us to be that for the more recently acquired fans who don't know how to behave. That's the problem. They don't know how to behave like a City fan in tough times.
It may not, Mario. It may not improve straight away. But what I want to see this season is the building blocks. Because I keep saying it's Pep Guardiola in his first season. We bought Nolito. We bought Gundogan. We bought Johnny Stones. We bought Claudio Bravo. Who was the other one? And we ousted Joe Hart. We had Bakary Sagna, Pablo Zabaleta, Kolarov, Gail Clichy. And we finished.
Not all of them worked out, by the way. Not all of them worked out.
Yeah.
You know, there's always players who don't work out. It's a natural thing. It's not new to City. It's not a recent thing. Every season we've had players that didn't work out. And we've either reluctantly or with relief let them go. You know, Marmouche ain't a bad player. He's just the wrong kind of player for the kind of football
he's the wrong profile for MCFC.
None of them are bad players. Yeah. Do you know what they were? They were. I've always said this about Savinho. When we brought Savinho in, he should have been the guy to learn off of Mahrez, to learn off of KDB, to learn off a Sterling, a Sane. Savio shouldn't have come in at 20 years of age and been the main guy. We've never done that.
Yeah.
We were building blocks these, but because and listen, I admit it, and we all admit it, Manchester City messed up after the treble. Cheeky said it, Pep said it, we've all said it, we've got a little complacent, which you will when you're top of the world, you get a little bit complacent. They were handing out iPhones made out of gold. They were having a whale of a time. We were all doing it. With a cock and a walk, we were giving it the large one.
I
now
never got an iPhone.
No, the players did. You didn't. But now, but guess what? We're going to have to take a little bit of humble pie now. We've given it the big one for 10 years to everyone. For 1 year, we might have to take a little bit back.
No,
And
one
we
more
might, it's
year,
not
because
even for
I
sure.
think we've had to eat some for the last 2 years, even though we won 2
No, we
trophies
won more
last
trophies
year,
than us
as though
last
that's
year.
nothing.
We
And
won
we
2
could still end
trophies.
up winning things. That's the thing. It's not
Do you know what,
guaranteed we're not going to win
I've got to
anything.
say something to the chat, Martin, but it's nice. I am absolutely reassured by some of the comments now, some of the positive comments. I'm so happy to see it. It's like this is unusual, you know, and it's great. So well done, fair play, chat. Most of you. There's a couple of wankers in there, but most of you, yeah. Some of you are saying some really good positive things. Some of you are wankers, but yeah. So yeah, and someone just said something, which is something I thought about a while ago. We could do with another shit season to get rid of some of the end titles, and I thought he put it a bit better than that. But I was at that point about 3 weeks ago. I was like, do you know what? Let's come 7th because we will get rid of some absolute tossers. You know, they'll be off to Arsenal or wherever else they go next. But actually, I don't want to. I want to keep them. I want to show them some love. I want them to see what it is to be a City fan under pressure. Because let me tell you, those years were fun. Those years on that intercity special, going to some of the places that you'd never go to, but you'd go through to get to somewhere good, to go and watch a football game in the pissing rain, where you stood a good chance of getting your ass handed to you.
You know what, though? I say this, and I was on a conversation with a Plymouth fan when we played in the Cup. I always say, do you know what my favourite competition is? Hey?
Did you find one? Little joke.
Hey, the gate crashed at our pub. You know what I say is my favourite competition still to this day, and I've seen us win everything, is the FA Cup. It reminds me of being a kid. Yeah, I love going to the away grounds, like your Bristol City's away. Just going to these grounds, it just reminds me of them old. I love it. I love it. And my favourite moment in our recent history, honestly, when we won the Carabao Cup last season. I had my daughter there. It was the first time she watched us win a trophy.
Brilliant.
The journey to it, going Swansea away, I just loved it. It just reminded me. You were there, Martin, weren't you? It just reminded you of our old days. That
Carabao Cup was a bigger celebration and cheer than we got when we won the league. It was mad. I said that last season. I was like, we didn't celebrate like this when we won the league. Sometimes it was the noise was deafening in that stadium last season. Deafening at Wembley.
There was a couple of moments on Sunday where I got a bit tearful.
Still interest, yes, Mamcy, still interest.
And what one of them was, I was on the concourse, which was miles away from the toilet, and but the amount of kids running around in that concourse, and they were playing the Boys in Blue, and it was there, that line, maybe in another generation when other lads have come to take our place. And it was just the perfect moment because they were just kids, and they were all full kit wankers, but never mind, they're kids, they're allowed to be. Do you know what I mean? The only thing they didn't have on was boots, but there was just loads of them of all ages, you know, young teenagers down to like, you know, little toddlers running around like mad because there was space to run around. And there was a couple sat next to us, you know, and they were wrapped, absolutely wrapped. And the other time was walking onto the concourse and seeing through the doorway the green of the pitch, and it reminded me of my first game in the Kippax. And I wanted to take a picture of it. There's just too many people going through it because our kid said take a picture of it because he knew that moment always stayed with me. The first time I walked up the Kippax steps, because we only had a black and white telly, right? So seeing how green and colourful it was when you and I had the same feeling at the Etihad. And I'd been to the Etihad before, but it was a long time ago. And I just saw that, you know, the doorway's there, and I just saw the green through it. I was like, I was 8 or 9 again. I just got really excited, you know. The club's in safe hands. If the match-going fans or anything, they go by. You know, it's just loads and loads of.
I get some people have standards. That's fine. Just let's get through this week. There's loads coming up. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. By the way, Oil Brothers tomorrow is 2 p.m. in the afternoon because Baz is working. So 2 p.m. tomorrow, over on Baz's channel, Through Black and White Eyes, we'll do Oil Brothers. So come and join us over there. And then I'm on A-Listers with Hussam later on. Wednesday, we'll be doing some Thursday night chat. Thursday, Friday, I'm trying to go to the game. I've got tickets, but at the moment my mother's not well, so I may have to stay to look after my mother. So my brother might be going instead of me. If not, we'll do a watch along on Friday for the Crystal Palace from me and Tone. And then on Monday, we're going to be doing a deadline day special.
Ooh. Oh, I'm busy.
Because
full 12 hours.
We are expecting
I've got to watch
movement
my hair.
When you say a deadline day on, Matt, is this what a full day, or is this just like towards the back end?
It
For
depends.
charity.
Depends where we are with certain deals and what's happening. Yeah.
Should do it for charity.
Bank holiday Monday.
No, the charity one's coming up in October. We're going to do a 24
No, but for
hour.
this one, you can sponsor me to endure a deadline day show. And I just sit here saying now, I'm just fucking bored.
Listen, don't worry, you'll be fine. But no, massive thank you to Trev, Danny, and Oriano for coming on.
Thank you, everybody.
Good to have you back, Oriano. And Spartacus, obviously. Listen, guys, everyone is entitled to an opinion. You may not agree, but don't be abusive. You're allowed an opinion. Spartacus is doing a lot of work behind the scenes for this channel. Trust me, there's a lot to come. We've got a brand new website beginning soon, which are going to have links to all the aggregators, up-to-date results, up-to-date with the latest news, links to shows. There's a lot coming up. We're going to have, don't forget, there's the Fantasy Football League that started. Make sure you're in it on the Mancunian way. And we've also got a prediction week. So each week, this will come through the website when we launch it. You can predict what the score's going to be of the upcoming City games. So, yeah, website coming. That we've got to have a meeting with Spartacus and we've got to buy the domain and all sorts of things. That's coming up. Keep an eye on a sponsor as well, because we're in negotiations with somebody at the moment. Yeah, big things going on here at the Mancunian Way. Thank you all for it all.
Can I just say as well before you finish, Martin? I watched the EDS game before.
Yes.
Sad Chelsea. I'm going to watch this. I was going to go to it actually, but I got out of work late. And very some good players in there. Them Samba brothers.
Well, we have got a EDS, an under-18 show beginning next month with me, Danny, and Kurt is coming back. You may know from the Man City Man TV days, he's coming back. And I've got to speak with Tariq because Crunk, Tariq and the lads were going to start a monthly Man City women's show as well. So there's you're going to get women, you're going to get EDS, you're going to get City's first team, websites, predictions, giveaways. The old kid caboodle is coming at you.
It's all happening. But yeah.
So it's all happening. But yeah, massive thank you to you all. Smash those likes on the way out. And as always, up the Blues. Take care, all.